It might be time to take advantage of the best wireless routers to update your home network. While you can add the best Wi-Fi extenders to an existing network, sometimes replacing the router is the best way to get a reliable network in your home. At 3 by 11 by 6.6 inches, the RT2600AC is an average-sized router. It has 4 removable and adjustable antennas, 4 gigabit LAN ports, 1 USB 3.0 port, 1 USB 2.0 port, a dedicated WAN port, and an SD card slot. LAN port number 1 can be used as secondary WAN port to support 2 gigabits per second WAN, as well as provide a failsafe if the main WAN connection is lost. Additionally, the Synology Router Manager console allows you to load balance traffic across both WAN connections. The left side of the router has a WPS button and a Wi-Fi button, and there are reset and power buttons around back. Under the hood are a dual-core 1.7 GHz CPU, 512 MB of RAM, and 802.11 acres circuitry that supports AC 2600 dual-band Wi-Fi and the latest Wave 2 technologies, including beamforming, band steering, and MU-MIMO data streaming. The front of the router is home to a series of LED indicators for power, internet, all 4 LAN ports, both USB ports, and WPS activity. As with the RT1900AC, the RT2600AC can be managed using the Windows-like SRM web console or with the DS Router mobile app. The mobile app offers parental control and traffic control settings, guest networking, and basic wireless settings, but the web console is more robust. It contains tiles for a network center, a control panel, a package center, and an SRM help center. Click the network center tile to view upload and download speeds, see a list of connected devices, configure wireless settings, and create guest networks, as well as configure firewall, denial of service, port forwarding, and DHCP server settings. Here you can use parental controls to block access to social networking sites and those that contain adult content, drug use, malware, and more. You can also create internet access schedules for each client. Traffic control settings allow you to assign bandwidth priority to specific clients, monitor live traffic usage, and view historical usage reports. The R7800 sports the same design as the Netgear Nighthawk X4 AC 2350 smart Wi-Fi router. The black, angular chassis measures 1.97 by 11.22 by 7.26 inches and contains 4 removable external antennas. In addition to MU-MIMO, the R7800 also supports 4x4 data streaming, which means it can deliver 4 data streams to each band to maximize throughput speeds. It uses a 1.7 GHz dual-core processor and is capable of maximum throughput speeds of up to 2.53 gigabits per second. The front of the R7800 contains 10 small LED indicators that give you the status of the 4 LAN ports and the WAN port, 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz radio band activity, and USB and eSATA activity. There's also a Wi-Fi protected setup button and a button that disables one or both radio bands. At the rear of router are 4 gigabit LAN ports, a WAN port, a button that enables/disables the LED indicators, a power button, and a reset button. The left side of the router holds 2 USB 3.0 ports, and the right side holds an eSATA port for connecting to eSATA drives. The Netgear Genie web-based management console makes it easy to tweak basic and advanced network settings. The homepage displays internet, wireless, guest network, and parental control status at a glance. It also shows you how many peripheral devices are attached, as well as the status of the ReadyShare feature, which lets you share and backup files using a connected USB drive. Basic settings include wireless, internet, ReadyShare, quality of service, parental controls, and guest network settings. In the advanced settings menu, you can enable site blocking, create network access schedules, view status and access logs, configure port forwarding, and enable remote management. Here, you can also configure the router to act as a wireless bridge or a wireless access point, and view internet traffic statistics. The WRT1900AC is basically the WRT54G of yesteryear, but on steroids. It measures 1.5 by 10 by 7.5 inches and weighs 2.25 pounds. In comparison, the Linksys Wireless G2.4 GHz router was just 1.5 by 7.5 by 6 inches and weighed 0.96 of a pound. Inside, this dual-band, 802.11 acres router is stuffed with a dual-core 1.2 GHz processor, 256 MB of DDR3 RAM, and 128 MB of flash memory. It's got a gigabit WAN port, as well as 4 gigabit LAN ports. In addition, on the back panel is a USB 3.0 port and a combination USB 2.0/eSATA port. You'll also find WPS, reset, and on/off buttons on the back. Although it's relatively heavy, the W1900AC is still wall and ceiling mountable, via grooves in its rubber feet. There are also airflow vents all over the housing. Its internal components are built for performance, and this means it has the potential to overheat. In fact, there is such concern that Linksys put a fan inside, further lending to the unit's massive size. The documentation has an insert with a picture of the router with a book placed on top of it, crossed out in a big, red circle. Even without the fan, you wouldn't want to sit anything atop this device, and you will certainly want to keep it somewhere with good airflow. 4 short, fat dipole antennas attached to the sides and the rear of this router. I really like their sturdy construction. My focus on the antennas may seem strange, but many times when we review routers with external antennas, they're so flimsy, they flop over or end up breaking. The WRT1900AC's antennas are not only solid, but they are also designed with 3-stream spatial architecture that allows the router to use the best 3 out of its 4 signals to transmit and receive data. At 2.5 by 9.6 by 9.6 inches, the ROG Rapture GT-AC 5300 is one big router. The black enclosure with copper trim sports the familiar black and red Asus Republic of Gamers logo and boasts a whopping 8 removable, adjustable antenna stalks. It looks like a giant spider on its back. 6 tiny LED indicators on the front edge illuminate statuses for power, 2.4 GHz activity, 5 GHz activity, WAN and LAN connectivity, and WPS activity. The left side holds buttons for enabling/disabling Wi-Fi, turning the LED on and off, and initiating WPS. Around back are a staggering 8 gigabit LAN ports, 2 USB 3.0 ports, a WAN port, and power and reset buttons. 2 of the LAN ports can be paired for link aggregation, providing 2 gigabits per second speeds for aggregation-compatible NAS devices wired into the router. The ROG Rapture GT-AC 5300 is a 4x4 tri-band 802.11 acres router powered by a 1.8 GHz quad-core CPU, 1 GB of RAM, and 256 MB of flash memory. It uses 1024-COM technology to achieve maximum speeds of up to 1000 megabits per second on the 2.4 GHz band and up to 2167 megabits per second on each of the 5 GHz bands. Also, it supports all of the latest 802.11 acres technologies, including multi-user multiple input multiple output simultaneous data streaming and beamforming. The latter helps improve performance by sending data in a focused signal more directly at connected clients, rather than over a broad spectrum. What sets the ROG Rapture GT-AC 5300 apart from other high-end routers is its game-enhancing features. One of these features is a pair of LAN ports that automatically gets network priority to make sure your gaming rig or console is favored with the lion's share of bandwidth. Another is Game Boost, which analyzes your network and gives priority to gaming traffic on Sony PlayStation, Nintendo Wii and 3DS, and Microsoft Xbox One gaming consoles. While not quite as edgy as the ASRock G10AC 2600 gaming router, the Armor Z2's design is meant to appeal to gamers. Its black enclosure has a beveled look that resembles the front end of race car, complete with air vents. It has 4 adjustable, non-removable external antennas, and there are 5 slim LED indicators on the front edge for power, internet connectivity, 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz connectivity, and WPS activity. Powered by a 1.7 GHz dual-core processor, the Armor Z2 is an AC 2600 router with maximum throughput speeds of 800 megabits per second on the 2.4 GHz band and 1733 megabits per second on the 5 GHz band. It supports the latest 802.11 acres technologies, including MU-MIMO streaming, which transmits data to multiple clients simultaneously rather than sequentially, and beamforming, which sends signals directly to clients rather than over a broad spectrum. At the back of the router are 4 gigabit Ethernet ports, a WAN port, and reset, power, Wi-Fi, and WPS buttons. The right side holds a USB 3.0 port and a USB 2.0 port. The Armor Z2 can be configured and managed using the same web-based console seen on the Zyxel AC2200MU MIMO dual-band wireless gigabit router, or you can use Zyxel's OneConnect mobile app. There's also a handy Zyxel Photo mobile app that lets you back up photos and videos to a USB drive attached to the router. The web console opens to an easy mode page, which contains a simple network map with controls to enable or disable Wi-Fi, parental controls, notifications, and the router's LED lights. On the expert mode status page, you can view detailed statistics using the live network monitor, which shows bandwidth usage between all clients and the router, and the usage monitor, which displays a graph showing peak upload and download bandwidth statistics.